Welcome everybody to the Excellent Bros. This is your positive gaming and Xbox community, and it has been. And guess what, everybody? The Xbox isn't going anywhere. If you think it is, you've been duped. You've been duped. But some big drama in the world of Xbox this year. Most of you may not even know about it. I think this applies to maybe 1% of the Xbox user base, and it's largely been driven by
Twitter?
Xbox influencers
On Twitter?
quote unquote, over on Twitter, who I will refer to as egomaniacs for the rest of the show. So whenever I say egomaniacs,
not all of them.
no, the regular ones I just call
Regular.
the regulars, the normies.
So why don't you summarize the situation and then we can...
Yep. So what happened is rumors abounded that some games, such as Starfield, will be going over to PlayStation this week. Again, these are just rumors. Nothing was substantiated. And Twitterverse went into a frenzy with many of the larger Twitter accounts who exclusively cover Xbox freaking out, burning their Xboxes, essentially, leaving, saying, that's it, I'm done. I was never informed of this. And what I amounted to is I think we've said this before. I think Xbox has a PR/community management problem. Not that the community managers are bad, but they're not enabled to go and control the narrative. And the narrative
Xbox,
quickly...
I'll say it, David. Xbox is terrible at communicating with people.
Yeah.
And let's just up that Microsoft in general is terrible at communicating with
So
people.
it quickly spiraled out of control to the point that Phil Spencer was forced to come out and say, hey, we have a strategy meeting or a business, the future of Xbox on Monday. Stay tuned for that. You're going to be very excited, to which some of the journalists out there came out and said, yeah, Xbox isn't going anywhere. Hardware's not going anywhere. But there is a big strategy shift coming. And I think that it is that Starfield is going over to PlayStation. And I don't have a problem with that. I actually think that, and I made a video on this on my YouTube channel this week, I think it makes total strategic sense. I think it underscores the value of Game Pass. And I think it's smart. Again, we're going through this seismic shift in lots of different areas of technology, but particularly in gaming. And I think Xbox and Microsoft are leading the way there. And this is a part of that. This is what it's going to look like. And I think what it is timed exclusives, like a Starfield, will go to competing devices. Why does that make sense, you may ask? Why do I think it makes sense, strategic sense? Because it drops day one on Game Pass, and 6 months later, a year later, 2 years later, it comes to PlayStation. It underscores the value of Game Pass because on PlayStation, you're going to pay $70. On Game Pass, you don't. On PlayStation, you don't get it for 2 years later. On Game Pass, you get it day one. And it's just a win-win. Xbox says, yes, we get to talk about the value of Game Pass more. You get all these benefits from Game Pass. Plus, we don't care if the PlayStation people never come over to Game Pass because we're getting your money anyways if you play Starfield.
Yeah,
I think it's a win-win. I think it's a smart strategic move. Grant, what I'm saying is all speculation. By Monday, if you're listening to this, you'll probably know whether or not this speculation is true or not. I think the outrage was uncalled for by many people. I think if you think about it logically, if this is what is happening, makes complete sense to me. I don't think your core games, to Jordan's point, we talked about this week, of Halo, Gears, are probably not going anywhere. Forza, they'll probably remain 100% exclusive, but I have no issues with Hi-Fi Rush, for instance, going to both Nintendo and PlayStation at full price.
And the thing is it only been, like, let's take Hi-Fi Rush as an example. I think Hi-Fi Rush, and someone can correct my numbers, but I think Hi-Fi Rush only sold like 3 to 4 million on Xbox. You put that on PlayStation, maybe we get another 3 to 4 million out of that. Maybe we get a sequel.
And if people,
I think stuff like that is beneficial.
The thing is, you're going to get a sequel to Hi-Fi Rush. The thing is this: let's pretend it goes to PlayStation and Nintendo, and people really like it. And then a year from now, 2 years from now, Hi-Fi Rush 2 drops day one on Game Pass. All those fans who want to play it can wait and eventually play it and pay $70 for it. Or, hey, come, you enjoyed this game, come play it on Game Pass. It just makes so much sense strategically to me. I don't understand the outrage. I think what the outrage is egomaniacs, like I said before, thinking that Xbox has to run their ideas through them, and you don't. Spicy, thoughts on the whole fiasco?
Well, there's a couple things here to dissect. There's the outrage, and then there's the news. I think those are two separate things for me, anyway.
And the rumor.
Correct. Thank you.
It's not news till Monday.
Yeah.
It was a journalist, Tom
Warren.
Tom Warren. He came out and said we data scraped Hi-Fi Rush, and it looks like we have logos on TV screens or something that said we're here.
I think it's t-shirts.
T-shirts. Yeah. That's right. That's right. Yeah. There's a blue one. There's a red one, implying that like on the blue one is we're here. And the red one, implying that the game is going to be released on Nintendo and PlayStation, and that's what started. It was like watching someone fall down the stairs in slow motion, getting worse and worse and worse. It's a snowball effect that just went out, and people started getting more and more people, professional outragists. I don't know how you would call it. Started going nuts, and it honestly was very confusing to me, because I don't understand outrage at that level.
For that, like I understand outrage if someone messes with your child.
Have you? Yeah, that's true. Have you ever watched bricklaying videos on YouTube, David?
Oh no, but I feel like I need to now.
Jordan, have you?
No.
Sometimes I go down this path of just... I think, Jordan, we had this discussion today where you were like, hey, I like watching people work where they put on their GoPro cameras,
Yeah.
Well, bricklaying videos, the reason I'm bringing this up is bricklaying videos are very relaxing to watch a bricklayer just...
Methodically do it? Yeah.
Methodically do it. But they're also fascinating because if you go and you read the comments...
People get mad. He's doing that incorrect. Yeah.
I would say 95% of the comments are how incorrect
Are professional bricklayers?
this bricklayer is laying the bricks. And it makes me think, wow, there's a lot of professional bricklayers out there.
And on YouTube.
On YouTube, it blows my mind how many professional bricklayers know how to do it correctly, whereas this guy, obviously getting paid for it, is doing it incorrectly. The reason I bring that up is there are a lot of people that know far better how Xbox should be ran than Xbox.
Yeah.
You know? It's like this. It's fascinating to see this like parasocial relationship with a company.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
A little bit of that though is Xbox fault in this respect.
I would say 60% of this is Microsoft's fault.
Yeah. I mean, if you look back,
I would even go up to 70%.
If you look back, Ryan McCaffrey had one. There was like two people who I thought handled it solidly. Both.
Ryan McCaffrey had a good
one
tweet.
was Ryan McCaffrey, and Ryan McCaffrey said, Xbox has never been good at this. From the Xbox One launch to, Halo Infinite reveal, remember that? To Redfall fiasco, all of that was all things that are preventable. This narrative, they just didn't control it, and it got out of control.
Well, they didn't even attempt to control it.
Well, I think in this day and age, it's bizarre to me to see like this outrage over gaming. I'm confused by how, like, David, I saw one of your replies to somebody on your tweets. It was a guy that was saying, I have been an OG Xboxer. He called himself an Xbot. That's what it was.
An Xbot, yeah.
I'm an Xbot. I can't believe this. I'm moving to PlayStation.
Yeah.
And it's like...
This is what he said. I'm an Xbot, but when I heard the news, I just quit my Game Pass Ultimate and ordered a PS5. So scummy of Xbox.
So let's dissect this a little bit, okay? Yeah. He is an Xbox fan, which implies that he is exclusive to Xbox. Let's say, according to this tweet, he has exclusively been an Xbox fan.
I believe the term Xbot would say that.
And he is saying, he's implying I dislike other brands.
I'm loyal to Xbox.
Yeah. In so much that now I'm going to be for those other brands.
Yeah.
It's a weird
over something that's not even official yet.
Rumors.
There's probably a good percentage of truth to the rumors, but it's not yet been officially. We don't know exactly what's going on.
So that's why I bring up in the original thing that I started saying. There's a couple of things to dissect here. There's the rumors, the actual pseudo news that's coming out that's saying, okay, there's a possibility. Hi-Fi Rush, for example, it all stems from Hi-Fi Rush. There's a possibility that these games are timed exclusives.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's essentially what the rumor mill is saying. Then we shelf that, and then we put on the other side. The other news is how crazy. I'm going to say crazy. I probably have an unpopular opinion because it is all over the place.
If you're not on Twitter, I would say 90%, 99% of your average Xbox players have no idea this is even a thing.
Yeah. So the other thing I see is just how dramatic and how people think that it's their. That's why I called it a parasocial. Some of these people, I won't say all, but some of these people think it's their decision to make.
Yeah. And you could be disappointed by it, or you. But
well, I understand some
what?
concerns
right now,
because
and you can have concerns on the rumor, of course. But the overreaction, I'm seeing headlines. Xbox is done. Game Pass is over.
Well, the one that
none of that is happening.
The one that I started seeing,
even by the rumors, none of that is happening.
The one that I started seeing, which again, I guess we don't know until Monday or Tuesday or whenever the official thing comes out, was like YouTubers that I would watch are talking about like, oh, Xbox, this is their last console, and it's like, what are you talking about? They've never expressed any desire to not be in the console business.
Yeah.
I mean, Xbox
to the point where the leak / rumor / news the day before is that both Xbox and PlayStation are getting into the mobile gaming space, i.e. the ROG Ally, the Steam Deck. In fact, Jez Gordon, WindowsCentral.com, has said that this shift in strategy is a direct response to Steam Deck 2 and the popularity of the Steam Deck. Yeah. By Valve. So they're not getting out of the hardware game at all. Rumor is also that the Xbox, their Nintendo Switch-esque, their Steam Deck, whatever, the Xbox version of it is going to be a docked mobile system. Very next day, they're getting out of console.
I know, yeah.
That's not happening, guys.
No, the rumors got way out of hand, and I do think a good majority of it is Microsoft's fault, because Microsoft, like we talked about at the beginning, has never been good at communication, and I think they should have come out. I understand that you need to like get all your ducks in order and you need to say, okay, this is our clear and concise message, but you should have had some of your social media team saying, hey, this isn't it. Like, for example, when the Xbox, when they were talking about like, and this is what me and David were talking about, when they were talking about, oh, the console's gone. Why couldn't you have just tweeted out, hey, Xbox is the most powerful console in the world, and we're here to stay. You know what I mean? Like, why just something simple as that, just to get that out of it.
It's because of this. In my day job, everybody, this is what I do day to day, and my team is very effective at doing this, I think. But the reason that we're so effective is because we have a direct line from, like, there's no bureaucracy in the way. At a place like Xbox, I think it's a huge bureaucratic mess. I think Microsoft is notorious for that. Like each of their arms act independently of each other. That's why there's a lot of canceled projects and stuff over there. So I think that they're just not. All you need is the head of community or the head of whatever your social media, whoever runs the messaging, to smack back at a couple of these divas.
Outrageous ones.
The outrageous ones.
We're not talking about like people like, oh, I'm concerned.
And then you just set the tone. That's it. You need someone who has the ability to be in the know of what is being discussed, who knows what they can and cannot say, and then enable them with that knowledge. And I understand why, a lot of people on those teams maybe can't have that knowledge, but there's one person that could.
Yeah. Well,
the director or whatever, and then they smack back a few times. And you control the narrative. Ryan McCaffrey brought this up, and Jordan, what's funny is before he tweeted it, you and I were talking about it, like, and I told you, Jordan, this never happens with Sony or Nintendo.
Yeah, because they
to this level,
because I think they know how to talk to people.
Yeah. So that is, I think that is a good point. Eric W in chat says, imagine buying an Xbox for Starfield, and then it goes to PlayStation anyway. That's a terrible look as a consumer, not to mention spending $70 billion for an acquisition and then laying off devs. Well, I think any acquisition, and if you've been in the acquisition game, any acquisition comes with a consolidation of employees after if it's not up front, it's after a period of time. Also, the entire gaming space is laying off at the moment anyway, so I think that was coming no matter what. Also, if you bought Starfield, here's why even that I get what you're saying, Eric, but I don't think that that's the case, or I don't think that that's as valid as maybe it appears up front, because if you bought Starfield or if you bought an Xbox to play Starfield, guess what you've been doing since October? You've been playing Starfield. It coming to PlayStation does not affect that. If it coming to PlayStation, let's pretend they announced it's coming this year, at the end of this year. You got to play it for 1 year beforehand. Like, I don't think that's
on a day one Game Pass release, too.
Yeah, on a day one Game Pass release. I don't think that's a bait and switch. I don't think it being elsewhere does not affect a year later. If it's like, hey, it's coming now, maybe I can see that. But
yeah, but that's not.
I don't think it's the terrible look on consumers.
Well, it's not
as
like,
being suggested.
So I don't think this is like the first time this has ever happened. What didn't Deathloop? Am I crazy? Didn't Deathloop stay on PlayStation first and then came?
Yeah, but that was due to previous contracts.
Well,
from
here's
the acquisition.
And Metal Gear Solid and Kingdom Hearts was a PlayStation that came to Xbox as well.
Yeah, the thing is,
right? It's not like they make their money, then they make more money, but you still had access to it first.
Yeah, but PlayStation has had wild success over the last generation and has absolutely dominated with this strategy. This is just the next iteration. If once again, this is all rumors, so we're just speculating here.
Yeah, that's the
if this is true. This is just the next iteration of that.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I don't see how that's not seen. Also, I do think I have seen some PlayStation influencers as well, who all of a sudden they were like, "Starfield sucks. Starfield's the worst game ever." Literally tweet out, "Yes, I can't wait to play Starfield on my PlayStation."
Yeah, that's funny.
So it goes full circle here. There's crazies everywhere.
Well, and even more recently, PlayStation's done it with God of War, Spider-Man, and Final Fantasy Remake. And then I think didn't just Helldivers release multi on PlayStation and PC?
Yeah, PC, which runs on Windows.
To tremendous success. And I believe Helldivers I believe they're somehow connected to Sony, right? They're Sony owned somehow.
I don't know.
Yeah, but anyway, so
let me ask you this: why is this not an issue and has never been? Why do Xbox fans not have an issue with it going to the PC?
I have a conspiracy theory that's probably wrong,
but it is an issue going to PlayStation. Go for it.
I might hijack this question a little bit.
Okay.
Why, when other games have gone from PlayStation to Xbox, have we not had this? Like this complete, bizarre, dramatic outrage. I think, conspiracy theory, I'm probably wrong. I think it's part of a strategy to mob target Xbox.
Oh yeah, I'm sure some of these recently laid off employees had a little bit to do with this.
So I think it's being flamed, gassed, thrown gas on the fire, way out of proportion. And I'm probably wrong, but I think this is totally a Sun Tzu, the Art of War type thing. Let's damage the brand as much as we can while we can. Let's get other people involved. Let's get the mob involved. And let's try to manipulate a lot of people in a mass format into thinking that the brand is tarnished.
Let us know what you guys think, though, in the comments to this video.
Can I say?
Let us know. Do you? I mean, we're all speculating the same thing, that it's timed exclusives, and none of us have a problem with that. And I think, is it safe to say, do you guys agree with me that model actually underscores the value proposition? It highlights it more, especially as games become more expensive.
We haven't really talked about what they're gonna do, because we just talked about the news. So basically, like for example, this is what I think they're gonna do, and again, we don't know until Monday, Tuesday, or whenever this thing comes out, right? And this is what's important and why I think Xbox needs to word it correctly. I do think Xbox does need to do a little damage control, and they need to come out and say, hey, look, this is why you own an Xbox console, because of this reason right here.
Yep.
Right? I think they need to do that. They need to give people a reason to buy the console. Right now, I think that reason is Game Pass day and date, right? The reason you buy a console over a PC is because a console is plug and play, and you can get a console is essentially a high-end PC on a budget.
Yeah.
Would you agree? I mean,
of
that's
course.
the appeal to a console, right?
Besides like where your friends are and stuff like that,
Yeah.
I would say that's
look. If you have an extra $3,000 and you can buy a PC, I was just doing that.
Ease of access.
Ease of access.
Ease of access.
But
ease of
the
use.
purpose of a console is ease of access. Everything we just talked about. You're getting essentially a high end PC on a budget.
Sure.
Right.
A simplified one.
Yeah.
Just lets you play
Yeah.
games. Yeah.
And what's special about the day and date on Game Pass is going back to Starfield. We got Starfield day and date on Game Pass.
Yep.
I don't think if PlayStation does get it, I mean, the rumors are they're going to get it. If they do get it, we don't know until next week. If they do get it, it's not going to be until 2025.
And you have to pay
Well, the rumors
$70.
are the end of the year.
And you'll have to pay $70.
So let's say best case
the rumors
scenario
is that it's
after the DLC drop, which the DLC
drops.
drop is the end of the year.
Yep.
So I'm just saying, let's say 2025. You got to play Starfield day and date on Xbox for almost 2 years before PlayStation gets it. And in addition to that, you have every other benefit of Game Pass on your Xbox. And I think I really feel like people are leaving that argument out and how important that is.
It makes Game Pass, the argument for Game Pass, even more valuable because and it works. It makes sense why Microsoft would do it. If you want to not come to Game Pass, well, we're still going to take your $70.
Look, I know people are saying like, oh, well, Xbox is doing this, but what is Sony going to give us?
Nothing.
Guys,
They don't need to.
and whatever, Sony can do what they want. But if you look at what Sony is doing, Sony is moving towards that same direction. Spider-Man, God of War, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Helldivers, they're all on PC now. Yes, they're not on Xbox specifically, but they are coming to PC.
Okay, let me finish my thought, though.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Guys,
Go ahead,
let us know what you think in the comments below. Let us know if you agree with us or you disagree with us. Does this help Xbox? Does it hurt Xbox? The rumor. We're commenting on the rumor here.
Yeah, because it's
Also, if it's Monday and you're listening to this and it's already passed, just let us know if we were right and wrong, if we nailed it or didn't nail it in the comments below as well. Spicy.
Yeah.
Were you going to say something? I think you were going to say something.
I was going to say something.
Oh, sorry, Jordan.
I was going to say something too,
Oh,
but
you-
let's have
you
Jordan
go.
first because Jordan's on the roll.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say what I think they're going to do. And this is what I think is going to happen. Because Microsoft hasn't come out and just automatically squashed these rumors, I think there's truth to them. Right. And I think of course there's what I think they should do. And this is just me. Right. I do think consoles should have an identity. Right. Like when you think of PlayStation, you think of Final Fantasy, you think of Nathan Drake, you think of Kratos. Right.
Yeah.
Gran
Also,
Turismo. Right. That they have an identity.
Looks like
I think of boob physics.
Yeah. When you think of Xbox, you think of Master Chief, you think of Marcus Phoenix, Forza, right? Like I think it's good for a console to have an identity, right?
Okay, sure.
So what I think they should do, and just for the record, I was a huge proponent of put games everywhere, and then David convinced me on like a podcast a month ago that exclusives are a good thing.
Yeah, I think exclusives are a good thing.
Yeah, but anyway, what I think they should do,
as I'm saying that I think this strategy makes sense, but keep in mind it's a timed exclusive, so you're still getting the benefit of an exclusive. Plus, I'm taking your money if you don't come to Game Pass. Mm-hmm. So you win. It's a win-win for Microsoft if this is what they're doing.
Yeah. So what I think they should do is because like I don't. After a year of timed exclusive, I don't care if Hi-Fi Rush goes somewhere. And the other talk is Sea of Thieves. And I mean, in a game like Sea of Thieves, it actually only benefits you to go multi-platform, especially after how many years the Sea of Thieves has been out. I think what Microsoft does is you keep your big three, which I think is Forza, Gears, and Halo. You keep those strictly Xbox titles or PC, right? Like Microsoft titles. And then, I don't know, like they've said in the past, it's a case by case basis, right?
So we have chat talking about how it doesn't hurt Microsoft. Like I'll read that. It doesn't hurt Microsoft at all, but it will hurt console sales. So I'm gonna think about that for a sec. If I can only play that game on Xbox, let's just say I can only play X game on Xbox or Y game on Xbox, and I get it. And I can only play it on the Xbox for a year or 2 years. And then it goes somewhere else. How does that hurt console sales?
Well, no, because Game Pass, you don't need to have it's because it will hurt console sales because Game Pass is not, the focus is no longer on consoles. Phil Spencer's been straight up about that.
Sure. But I mean, if I can only play it on the Xbox.
No, because you can play it on PC as well.
But aren't
You
some
can also
titles not?
you could also stream.
Some titles don't go PC.
No, all Xbox first-party titles go PC.
PC as well?
Yeah.
Well, I mean...
In fact, it's the reverse. Not all Xbox first-party titles go console day one. For instance, Age of Empire, Ara History Untold is another one.
So let's just say then, for that sake, so a Windows computer and an Xbox. That's the umbrella that you can play it on exclusively for a year or 2 years.
Yep.
I guess that hurts console sales, but doesn't that balance out on...
But console sales, software is where you make money anyways, and Game Pass is...
That's
they're not
true.
so concerned.
And look, I think we're just getting...
The ecosystem is... So here's the thing. What we're moving into this future, and we're already here in most of our other media consumption, and that is ecosystem. Ecosystem... There's the PlayStation ecosystem. There's the Xbox ecosystem. That has traditionally been tied strictly to consoles. There's the Steam ecosystem, even. That's only on PC. So they've traditionally been tied to this.
Seems on Mac, too.
Yeah.
But not all games are on.
Limited.
Yeah, very limited.
Trust me.
But you can download
I
Steam.
have tried. It's not quite there yet.
Steam is on Apple.
Yeah.
But Fortnite is
so
not.
Traditionally...
anymore.
Like these ecosystems have been limited to their hardware devices, attached hardware devices. I think what makes this such a huge shift and why gaming in the next 5 years is going to look completely different than it has in the last 5 years is because the ecosystem now can exist independently of the hardware. And that's what Game Pass is. The ecosystem's going to exist independently of consoles. Which is why I think the rumor that Xbox is going to a Nintendo Switch and also PlayStation type of device in the future is because of that, because it exists independently of hardware.
And what's super interesting about console sales is console sales have actually been going down for every generation. For example, PlayStation 4 sold 117 million units. PlayStation 5 is at, I think, somewhere above 50 million units, and they're not going to catch that 117.
Yeah, they are.
No, I don't think so.
Over time,
but the thing is no. But you're incorrect. Sorry, you're incorrect, though, because console sales for both Xbox and PlayStation 5 have outpaced the previous generation sales.
Yeah, because they had more time to get... You're looking at the bottom line.
Yeah, but I still don't think they're going to catch that number.
I think they will.
No, I don't think so.
I don't even think it will be close.
Not before a new console.
Gaming's more popular than it's ever been. Both of them will catch their previous numbers. You don't think that the Series X...
How much did PlayStation 3
You don't think that the combination of the
sell?
Series X and the Series S will pass the Xbox One easily?
No, not Xbox One. Well, Xbox 360.
Yeah.
What were the 360 numbers?
Let me pull it up on the Googles. But anyways, continue with your thought.
Because what I'm saying is, I feel like it feels like console sales have been going down each generation.
No, that's not true. They've been going up each generation.
But that's what I'm saying. Like PlayStation 4 is at 117 million units.
At the end of its cycle.
At the end of its cycle, right? PlayStation 5 is just above 50 million units. I don't think they're going to catch that 117 number.
Let's see, VG.
And that's what I'm saying. Console sales are...
But here... Okay.
While you're looking that up, I'm going to read a comment by Mike in chat. He says, the topic seems very tribal to me. While I like Xbox, I don't care where great games are so long as I can play them.
Look at that.
So
PlayStation 3 didn't even catch PlayStation 2.
So... All right, keep thinking about that because I want to talk about this. I think that's what the majority of people feel like, Mike, and I'm with you. I think a lot of people think that, and the discussion we're having is A, about the rumors, but B, about how the tribalism, I don't know what you would call that.
Yeah.
I think normal people, I don't know. I don't know if I should use the word normal, but
I consider you normal.
Okay. I am just glad that I can play my games. I mean, I'm lucky enough to have a PlayStation 5. I'm lucky enough to have an Xbox. I'm lucky enough to have a PC to play these games.
I don't have a PlayStation 5.
I do not get mad at David for not having a PlayStation.
Sometimes I do.
I want one. I don't have one.
But what I'm saying is, I think the normal not outraged person does not get mad for exclusivity rights and things like that for all that. I think I'm glad that people are able to play games. Just let me play mine too. And I think I'm with Mike on this, and I think that's what he's saying. I honestly feel like the outrage is, well, I told you at the beginning of the podcast, I think the outrage is bizarre to me.
Yeah.
I think that's absolutely bizarre. And there's a lot of bricklayers and these on Twitter that are saying, we know better than you, so and how dare you do this without me saying so? The parasocial aspect.
Well, and like,
how dare you, Xbox, for making these decisions without asking me first?
Well, we talked about it before. Like,
what?
I understand the concern because I still have some concerns just because this is kind of new for everybody. Yep. So I have
What's
concerns.
New for everybody? Just exclusivity,
or like this shift in what Microsoft is doing. I mean, I have concerns as well.
But it's not. But I would say, hold on. I would say it's not necessarily new. We have Kingdom Hearts.
No, the only thing that's
Metal
new.
Gear,
Yeah, the only thing that's new about it is that it's timed exclusives coming from a first party source,
which is new.
Okay.
But where I kind of was in awe and even got a little embarrassed myself was some of these reactions. Like, you have people singing songs about how it's over. It's it went crazy. It was David and I talked. It was embarrassing. Like,
the world is bizarre to me right now.
It was crazy. So,
I don't think that the loud people are necessarily the majority of people.
Yeah, well, look, did you have all the numbers, David? And you're going to apologize to me because I'm right?
No, because you're still wrong. So PlayStation 2 right now is the number, according to VG charts,
158 million.
158 million
okay,
globally.
You're back on this. Okay. You want me to pull this up? Where are you at? I can pull it up on screen.
If you just type in VG charts, Google VG charts, console, global, or console platform total.
Now,
platform totals right there, the first one.
Okay. Okay.
So PlayStation 2 is at 158 million. To Jordan's point, the PlayStation 4 is only at 117 million. However, sales are not done for the PlayStation 4.
Okay.
How long has the PlayStation 2 been out for?
Do you think the PlayStation 4 is going to gain how many million?
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe not.
And then PlayStation 5 is under PlayStation. All my point is console sales over time, and I believe it's because of technology, right? Because you have more places to play.
Maybe.
I believe console sales have gone down over time because of that. You have it is more accessible to get a PC. Yeah. People are looking, it's more accessible to get these or get your games on different places. And I think Microsoft. Now, look, this all being said, I don't think Microsoft's ever going to get rid of their box. I think it would be foolish to get rid of their box because it's essentially a foothold in the living room, right? I mean, why not have it there?
Yeah, then
I don't think they're ever getting rid of the Xbox.
Anybody that thinks that.
But David's upset because he's starting to realize I'm correct, and he doesn't know how to admit it.
No. I will say, you see that chart in the right-hand corner there, everybody? That's why both PlayStation and Xbox are going to a handheld
right up top.
portable console. At least if it's not their main console, at least will be an offering. Because the Nintendo Switch has absolutely dominated everybody, and the reason is this:
also half the price.
We are we're busy. I want to be able. This is what I've said. I want to be able. If I could game more, if I could sit on my couch on a screen, like the Nintendo Switch. That's why I have a Nintendo Switch, and sit next to my wife who's watching TV or doing something with the kids, and game there like that, where I'm not taking up this huge thing, or I'm not sitting at a desk in a room by myself.
That's true. But, David, how do you get the hardware power that Xbox and PlayStation has at the price that the Switch gives you?
AI.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You don't. I think the Xbox
that's
rumor.
why the Switch. If the Switch was at the same price as those other consoles, there's no way those numbers would be the same.
That's true. That is true.
I mean, it's a balance.
But
Nintendo chose to go convenient, exactly how you like it. They did specifically not choose to go hardware power.
Yeah,
and that's the. And
but
that's
I think that's the future.
I guess I point this way.
I think that's the future. I don't know that you need all the hardware power. Like, if I'm playing on a little screen, do I need to be at 120 frames per second? And the answer is no.
I mean,
that's your opinion. Right?
No, but my opinion's correct.
I know, but other people. Okay, that's your prerogative.
That's my.
But
No.
other people have their prerogative.
No.
and many people
On a
will
small
choose-
screen. So if I dock it then, and there's a dock that soups this bad boy up to whatever.
There will never be a time where I say, yeah, I'd rather do 30 frames than 60.
That's Jordan's prerogative.
Yeah,
No,
there's never
but
gonna be that
also,
time.
but also listen to this. I buy to play on this little screen so I can be mobile. Let's say it's $299, the device, the same as the Nintendo Switch, right? Mm-hmm. If I'm someone that wants to play all of my games, Xbox games, this is the beauty of Game Pass. At 120 frames per second, I have a ballsy computer and I can use Game Pass there.
Yeah.
That's what Xbox's strategy is, and that's what's happening.
I know. I'm just using that as a kind of more of the story on how Nintendo Switch
Yeah.
is. So
Well, and
cool.
if you go into
And
these
at Breath
numbers,
of the
like
Wild.
yeah.
I mean, when you launch with Breath of the Wild, what do you expect?
I do want to. Eric W. wrote back here in chat. He says, "I see what you guys are saying, but I would also say that historically, most timed exclusives have not been labeled as a game of the generation. Didn't have a 30-minute preview with them. I just think he's saying they're not big hitters, but that's because a few reasons. Number one, I would say there are a few. Final Fantasy VII Remake, for instance, is technically a timed exclusive, and
because it did go to Steam. Yeah.
and it's a once in a generation type of game. But those are usually the once in a generation type of games that aren't already third parties, like a Rockstar or a Bethesda, for instance, in the past, are first party games. And so this is the first time that a first party game that could be once in a lifetime type of game, once in a generation type of game, is taking this approach. So I think it's a little apples and oranges there because it's large. The exclusives have large, or the timed exclusives have almost all. I think they have all been third party. They've all been third party. Yeah, Sony's never done a timed exclusive for a first party.
Well, yeah, they have Spider-Man, God of War,
The Last of Us.
Yeah. X1's kind of a dick.
That's funny.
That's Techie87. Oh, all right.
But we love him.
Yeah.
That hurt his feelings, Techie.
thank
You know
you.
what?
No, I'm trying to ban him.
Oh no, he's I wouldn't ban him. I think maybe. Yeah, I think we're fine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think we're fine.
I don't know. See you later.
Yeah, I'd ban him.
Yeah, you don't get to come in here and call me a dick. You dick.
Yeah.
See you later.
Okay.
Hey, you want to see what I just did there? Hey, Microsoft, that's how you manage the narrative.
That's
But
funny.
if you're gonna call someone a name, at least have some like.
Let's be creative about
Yeah.
it.
Well, and like, why? You know, you can't just say something.
Anyways, yeah, I for the portable, I think it's real news, and I'm super stoked for that. I think both PlayStation and Xbox, I think it's golden on both those fronts. Like I'm happy for both of them to go to mobile.
Well, yeah. If we get like more, I mean, we kind of already do with some of them. I'm curious to see what they future plans for it are. Like a dedicated box, or is it still going to be like third party stuff, or you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, but Monday's going to be interesting, and I do think Microsoft needs to get their wording correct.
Will it be
And they
too
need to
correct,
they need to come out with a clear and concise
That's
message.
the thing. Like, if it's too correct, is it clear and concise?
Yeah, I don't know, but they anyway. Monday will be interesting.
We did drop a poll. I dropped one on my channel, and we dropped one on the X1 Pro's channel as well. And it's good to hear our audience, guys, is not crazy. Like, we're the normals. Everybody, it's fantastic. The poll, how do you feel about the internet reaction to the rumors of Xbox games potentially being available on other platforms? 44%, it's an overreaction. 24%, I'm concerned, but I'm keeping an open mind. 25%, it doesn't affect me. I'm just here for the game. So 69%, actually over 70% are, it doesn't bother me, or it's an overreaction.
Yeah, well, I feel like I'm concerned, but I'm curious to see, because there are like slight concerns that I have, but we'll kind of see how it goes and how it all turns out.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, David, you're not a dick. I want you to know that.
Oh, thank you.
I think I respect.
I think he just misspelled. I think it was just a typo. I think what he meant to say is X1 has a huge dick. Yeah. So I feel bad for banning him now.
that stupid phone autocorrect.
Yeah,
the
I hate
autocorrect.
that,
It didn't
don't
let
you?
him. It
Oh
didn't let him
man,
do it.
it'll get you. Oh, I got stories about autocorrect on phones. Whew.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, you guys have been playing some Baldur's Gate on the console. How is it on the console?
Yeah, it's good.
Better, worse? I know inventory management is probably not.
They did a decent job. I'd say it's a decent job. I prefer with with like a game like that, a mouse because of the control you have. Although I will say moving around with a joystick is far better than clicking everything. But that's how I feel with these kind of isometric like games in general. The camera angles are jacked. Like you can't get anywhere. But I remember struggling on that on the PC as well a little bit. I would say the superior place to play is the PC if you're able to. But I mean, I'm enjoying it on the Xbox as well. So it's fine. They made some decisions on how to manage inventory that helps it a ton on the console. But yeah, it's really fun. It's still a really good game, David. So my review is if that's what you have, it's perfectly fine to play it on an Xbox. I'm doing a playthrough on that with Jordan, and it's great. It's a good game. So it's it's great. I would say, what would you say, 60-40, Jordan? PC versus Xbox?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good.
Because it's the same game. It's just there are things that, like, for example,
Movement's better on the console.
Yeah,
Because it's joystick, right?
There are
You
things
don't have to hold down the clicks.
like I cannot see character sheets. I haven't figured out how to see character sheets on the Xbox. Where on the PC, I could just go through and see what feats you guys have, stuff like. There are weird things like that, which would be very helpful because I want to know what Jordan's character like. Can he accept this armor that I just found? Is he proficient in heavy armor, for example? Which stuff like that. That's a generic one, but it's important to have character sheets available to you for that kind of stuff. But it's still it's still just a great game. So yeah.
Jordan, now Persona 3 launched last week.
Oh,
on
yeah.
Game Pass.
Yeah.
And you dove in pretty hard. Shall we pull up some Persona 3 Reloaded
Yeah, let's do it.
footage? Tell us, Persona 3, how is it?
So I really like it so far. So you played Persona 5 a little bit, and I played like 2 minutes of Persona 5. So this is really my first Persona game, and I like it. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's a huge benefit to Game Pass. Another reason why Game Pass is so beneficial.
Yeah.
What I would say is I do think it's, I don't know if I'd put it in the niche category of games, but I think it's, you either like what they're doing or you, I don't want to say like, you're either into what they're doing or you're not into what they're doing. I really don't think there's an in-between on this style of game because it is very, I mean, it's a turn-based combat, but it's kind of again, being new to Persona. For me, it's a unique way of playing the game, going day by day, building what they call social links, and then the combat is fun, building up your personas, which is kind of your abilities in combat. To me, it's a very unique game. I like it.
Turn-based, what do you think? Do you agree with me? It's some of the best turn-based. Like they do.
Well, so
turn-based
I
really
don't know
well.
what Persona 5 does in turn-based, but this turn-based is fun. I mean, it's good turn-based.
Yeah, it's like action-packed.
They
turn-based.
even give me a kind of a Dragon Age style option of. It's not as in depth as like the original Dragon Age, but you know how you can in Persona you can tell your characters like, hey, I want you to do this, this, and this, or you can control them manually. And I like that because there are times when I want to control them, but I think for a majority of times there may be some I just want to put on auto, like heal, stuff like that. But no, I like it. I think it's cool. I like it a lot. Yeah.
So
but I like I said, I do think it's very, I mean, almost niche. It's a very unique style of game, and I think it's one of those things where you're either into it or you're not.
So this is two games now recently in the last 30 days that smashed records.
Nice.
That have been on Game Pass. Palworld, absolutely just crushed records. Persona 3 Reload. This is Atlas. Is it Atlas? Who's there?
Yeah, Atlas is the
Atlas.
company.
Yeah, Atlas is the developer. This is their fastest selling game, their biggest selling game of all time. In 7 days, over 1 million units sold. That doesn't count how many people are playing it on Game Pass.
Yeah.
So that's 2 Game Pass titles here that have smashed records for their respective developers. like what, in a matter of weeks.
Yeah.
So Game Pass, not to say that it is Game Pass, it's more like Game Pass's curated library is that good, but it definitely doesn't hurt. The argument used to be that Game Pass was going to hurt sales.
Well, even this week with all the drama, there was some arguments out there that Game Pass is hurting.
Yeah, no, that's not.
I don't necessarily think. You think Palworld's hurting because of Game Pass? No, I think that helps you.
Yeah, so congratulations to Atlas, and well deserved. Persona, it's unique. It's a unique experience. It's very good storytelling, and I think their turn-based combat is on point. Mm-hmm. Spicy, you were going to download it? Did you download it, or did you jump in?
I've played it.
Oh, you did.
Bit,
okay,
yeah.
And
as much as I can.
Yeah, what are your thoughts?
I get Metal Gear Solid vibes where I don't know the story, and it freaked me out when a wiener robot came and charged me.
Yeah,
so there's
a wiener robot.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
right? I'm a highly effective soldier that goes behind enemy lines and sneaks through everything. That's what I thought Metal Gear Solid was. But no, there's ghosts, and then they have robots that have a big giant erection with a gun that run at you and scare the shit out of you. That was my experience with Metal Gear Solid. And like weird dances with the sniper quiet and stuff in the rain. Really, really emotional stuff. But I was not expecting that. So they're like it's a game I am not familiar with Persona at all. Like at all. So there's like little things that these kind of games are just like, well, okay. But this game has a lot of flair. I like, we're watching it right now. I really, really like this art style of having the game engine behind where we're watching them talk and dialogue and everything, but the anime style in front where you see the lower third where they're talking. Mm-hmm. And it's they're combining a 3D game with a 2D aspect. I think that art style is pretty freaking awesome. I find myself really enjoying this game. I will say the first 2 hours was me pressing A.
Very slow. Yeah. Very slow.
Then I said that's their tutorial zone where, and I will say Persona 5, then it, so because I haven't played 3 Reload yet, but it's the same formula. Long story to get you into it, and it's basically watching an anime. Then the battle starts, but then they drop you back in the story and you're like, oh, I had fun fighting there. I want to fight some more. And then you got to wait for a long time. But
yeah, well, thank goodness they had that auto mode where you could press, I think it's X, and it would auto the dialogue.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, and then I just watch it for 30 minutes, then walk to my room, then watch it for another 30 minutes, then walk to my room.
Then go to school, take the train to school.
And it keeps like going through. But then you finally hit combat, and I mean the story's pretty interesting. It's the first time I pulled out my Persona. I don't know how Persona 5 is, but you shoot a gun to your head to like expose the persona, like your powers, and it was like, what the heck?
Whoa.
Whoa. It's bizarre.
The difference in time, though, so to beat Persona 5, it's like over 100 hours. This is, I think, right around 30 hours. This is like a standard game.
Yeah.
As far as time is goes. Also, on Game Pass, did you know that one of the filters is, and I just haven't searched this way, I usually just go browse by alphabet, is how long to beat?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Cool.
So now we're watching gameplay, and it turned into an anime. The cutscenes are anime.
Yeah.
And they're really, really, really well done.
It's really good, yeah.
I see Defenestrator in chat says skip everything. This is a game you technically don't want to.
Yeah, because there's a lot of mechanics that layer on top of each other.
And it's a good story.
This game is a slow burn. I mean, there may be points where it picks up and goes fast and stuff, but it's a slow burn. So if you're not into that kind of thing, then maybe
it's not for you.
It might, yeah, but it's definitely a slow. At least that's how I'm kind of interpreting it. But I enjoy it so far. I think it's really fun.
Yeah, agreed. Cooper in chat said, "Did you guys see how much it costs Palworld for their servers?" And yeah, remember they've got 19 million players as of last week. I don't know what they're up to this week, but one of the double-edged swords of having that much success is server costs. and it's estimated to be, they spent just in February something like $500,000 on maintaining their servers. They're saying that the reason is because they're working on fixes and stuff, so they're not deteriorating gameplay for anybody. As soon as those fixes are done, those costs will go down. But that's a lot of money as of right now to maintain those servers. I don't know why they did it that way, because I don't have a local save file. There is no save option. You just log in and log out.
Yeah, because it saves to the server.
Yeah, but why?
I don't know. Yeah.
So anyways, it's just interesting, and congratulations again to those guys for
That's
all of their success.
But maybe their ultimate, it is a preview, maybe their ultimate goal is to have a fairly vast multiplayer system.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like, I mean, you're getting
you
PvP, we're getting stadiums, basically.
Yeah, you can't, if that's your end goal, then you can't start on not.
Yeah. And in fairness, like I said, they did make a statement saying, well, the reasons this is abnormally high, it's because we're working on bug fixes and improving stuff. Once we fix those, that cost is going to go way down. So, yeah, and Demon Chain, it's because they didn't expect it to be as popular as it became. I mean, it took off huge. It's lightning in a bottle, for sure. It's well done to them. So, anything else, guys? What before we get out of here?
Skull and Bones beta.
Skull and Bones. That's what Jordan asked me before the show. Did you guys jump in and play the beta? I said, yeah, I played it. I played it in 2019 at E3. It was pretty fun.
Man, that game. I'm actually. I don't know. I don't know if I'll jump into the beta because there's a lot going on this weekend with games, but I don't know. I saw people playing it. I'm like, this could be fun. Maybe we jump in and play a little multiplayer when it comes out in a little while. I mean, it's completely different from, I mean, obviously you're still sailing a boat and you're a pirate, but I think it's a little bit different from when you guys were playing.
Yeah.
All those years when there was still an E3.
Yeah, let's see some gameplay here. Let's go halfway through.
No, let's pull it up.
A story? I don't need a story to this game.
All right, I'll skip ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, just give me a gun and put me on a ship.
This is like Expendables. Yeah, I don't need a story. I just need violence.
You just need guns.
Just get to the action.
Explosions.
Yeah, this. Do we really need this?
I can skip ahead. Yeah, so this is probably
where you suit up and you improve your ships.
There's his sloop.
Sloopy slop.
Yeah, the sloopy slop. Anyway.
So is this more Sea of Thieves than what we were originally expecting here? Because when we played it, Spicy,
it was just straight up combat.
Straight up PvP.
Now, the only thing...
This is what it looked like right here.
The only thing
we had bigger ships.
Yeah, but look at buy and sell. I have an item that might be of interest to you. This seems like more of an action adventure RPG thing going on
with
here.
multiplayer.
What is happening?
I don't know. The only big stuff I've seen on the game so far is like a lot of creators that get to play it. They're always playing like end game stuff, which is ship battles. So
this looks like an Assassin's Creed boat. Like
it kind of is. Yeah,
that is very Ubisoft. Familiar. All their games have the same DNA.
It just felt very.
Maybe I'll try it a little bit, but
Cooper in chat. Did any of us play Suicide Squad? Try it out.
I think out of the both of you, I had no interest in playing it. Probably because I played Gotham Knights.
So I do have an interest in playing that. However, I don't have the time. My interests are lie elsewhere, and I know that I was complaining about people complaining about the game, and then I saw I don't know who did it, but a screen-to-screen difference between Batman Arkham and
Suicide
Squad. And I think it's a 7-year difference, and Batman looks so much better.
Really? But aren't they trying to do more? Isn't there more in Suicide Squad happening?
Oh, sure, 100%. Yeah.
Well, I think Suicide Squad is like a looter. It's a looter shooter basically.
But like visually, it was pretty astounding how much better Batman looked. Although, here's the thing: I don't trust the internet.
Yeah, because that could have been ultra settings on Batman and then like low settings on. You never know.
Also, I just
could have been doctored a little bit.
Played it. I probably won't play it, to be honest. But Demon Chain there says I heard it isn't as bad as people were saying. 82% positive.
I've actually heard
reviews.
that too. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought so too. The outsized. So here's the thing: there is like company espionage.
That's
for sure. Here's how I know.
That's my
so for instance,
theory.
in marketing,
What do you think people are upset with WB?
When you do ads, for instance, on Facebook, a rival company will do ads on your ad to tank your engagement.
Okay.
So like,
Corporate
if they're willing
espionage.
to do that, like it's really shady, but they do it all the time. If they're willing to do that to make your ad less effective, that's what they're doing, your competitors. Don't you think that people are willing to go after X, Y, or Z game and stoke
But what's
fires
it
out there?
competing with though?
What is other games? What do you mean?
Okay, all right, hey, fair enough. Fair enough.
Like, we have not played that because we're playing Persona
Okay.
And Palworld.
and Palworld and Baldur's Gate.
Oh, no, okay,
Baldur's
look.
Gate.
The reason I didn't have it, I have heard it's not as bad as people are saying, and I'm sure maybe I'll play it one day. But the thing is I played through Gotham Knights, and yes, I had fun with Gotham Knights, but the only reason I had fun was because I was with friends. I don't think I had fun because the game was fun. I had fun because I was playing with friends during that game. I don't think the game was terrible or bad or anything. It just, I don't know. It wasn't. It was. It wasn't there for me, right? So I played that, and then Suicide Squad is similar in the respect that it's a 4-player co-op game. So I think I'm still a little kind of like, I had enough with Gotham Knights. I don't need 4-player superheroes. And then the other thing that does it for me, and this just may be me, is I don't care about the Suicide Squad.
That's
I
true.
would rather be Green Lantern, Flash,
Yes.
all the other
Yeah,
heroes that
that's
like
true.
I would rather Superman, Batman. And I'm not saying like the Suicide Squad is bad, but I if you gave me Batman Arkham Knight and Suicide Squad, I'd rather play
Oh, I've
as
seen this.
Batman.
Yeah, I've
You
seen
know
this
what I mean?
video. I thought they were pointing out her ass.
Well, I
I thought they were trying to say like.
absolutely. Look at the cake on that.
Can you go to the description here? Does he say what the settings are?
I can, yeah.
Which is better? No, see, I don't know. Like again,
See, that's the thing.
Did
You never know.
narrate over the top what the settings were? Like, hey, I put
Because
this
actually,
on.
to be
blah, blah,
fair,
blah.
I've seen this game being played on PlayStation 5, and it does look really good.
Does it look like? I mean, is
It
that
doesn't look like that.
okay? So maybe some shenanigans are going on. See, this is my conspiracy theory.
Yeah, like see this one, how you've got like the
It's targeted.
the water effects and the glare and the lighting.
Why would they? Why?
So now fast forward over because the other one looked really faded.
It looked dull.
Here's my thing.
Yeah, it looked dull.
What kind of relationship do you have to have in your life to hate someone else liking?
Oh, you're a
game?
loser. So for instance, on Twitter,
Why do you care that I dislike this game or like this game?
on Twitter, I jumped into some of the spaces that some of these guys were holding, and when you hear them talk, you're like, oh, you're a loser.
Oh, that makes sense.
Oh, this makes sense now.
Oh, I get it.
You're a loser. And it's unfortunate, but that's
Just the way life goes.
just the way the cookie crumbles. Yeah, see, there is something because see the lighting,
But
there's
see,
like zero lighting effects here.
This is like
Zero lighting.
this is so.
Also, it's kind of a different style overall if this is what they're going for, but it looks like there's almost like a filter over the top.
What do they call that when like legally?
Go find.
Do Suicide Squad Ultra Graphics.
Yeah, do that. Okay. Type that in because that's what we can compare to.
Okay. No, but what do they call?
Defenestrator says McSpicy, more like McThirsty.
Yeah, well, the cake. Did
Yeah.
you see the cake? Here, hold on. I'll pull up.
Thirsty.
Where is that walk? That walk is like, damn.
And that's her original costume.
Here we go. I'm gonna switch it back over just for that walk. It's like, holy shnikes. Jeez, how does she fit into that? That's leather, by the way.
I will say
that's not spandex.
I will say the walk animation on the left is way better than the walk animation on the right. Walk animation on the left is like a sassy, insane chick. Walk on the right is like a loser.
Well, yeah. There's a. Yeah. I won't get into it, but hey, what am I looking up? Suicide Squad, Ultra Graphics.
Yeah.
Ultra Graphics.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, and let's see if it.
Do the
There you go,
PS5 one.
PS5 one. Yeah, let's look at this
Because
one.
I've seen it played on PS5, and I think it looks good. Get out of a cutscene.
Yeah, I'm trying. Oh my gosh, everything's a cutscene. Oh my gosh,
geez.
everything. Here, let me switch over so everyone can see what I'm doing.
Here we go. Is
Everything
this going
a
to be the
cutscene.
fight? Okay, here we go.
Yeah, that's.
It does look similar.
It does look
looks like
bland.
it's a different art style.
Maybe it's just because when I was because I watched like I in passing I kind of saw like a let's play of the first hour.
It's almost like
maybe I just saw the set.
Almost
yeah,
actual
it
gameplay.
does, yeah.
This looks like it's a trailer thing. Let me pull up gameplay. Okay.
Yeah, but I think it's an art.
Is that the one you did PS5? Yeah, you already did that one.
Is it on?
There you go. Do the 4K RTX.
Yeah.
Okay.
DLSS on. See, that looks good.
That looks better. Definitely looks better.
Yeah, look how crisp.
But I don't think it looks as good as.
No, it doesn't.
No,
but it's also
it doesn't.
different. It's also a different art style. Like this is more cartoony. While not going full in on cartoony.
That was not an animation I would allow it. Like her run is not. Yep. Okay.
Oh, there's a Spider-Man hook.
Yeah. Does every game have? Are you Spider-Man in every game now?
I think so.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, why not?
That's fair.
Oh. No, yeah, it does. It does. Yeah.
Like,
to be fair,
look at the stiffness.
Yeah, well, and look at the distance too. Batman was definitely more detailed.
But also, Batman,
okay, I'll give it to him.
But also, Batman's a single player experience.
Yeah, I wonder if you have to make.
You can't
well,
really
actually, you
compare
probably
the
do
two.
have to make sacrifices to have multiplayer.
Yeah, of course you do.
So anyway, I will probably eventually play this game, but as of right now, I'm gonna. It'll be on the back burner at some point.
Yeah, see, it's a different in lighting too. Like Arkham was dark. This is bright and colorful way.
Yeah,
it looks different
Wouldn't
with
you
lighting.
think
Yeah.
a game called Suicide Squad would be dark?
No, because of their
they're going for like
style,
the clown
right?
look.
I know. Well, the clown look, but you can have dark clowns. Like, look at the Joker.
I don't know. Has anybody in chat played Suicide Squad? What do you guys think so far? I'm curious because like I said, this is.
I know the lore of Suicide Squad, though. I get it. Wait, so versus the movie versus the comics, have they like tried to marvelize it with jokes everywhere and everything, or was this like the joke of the DC universe? Do you know what I mean? You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. I don't know.
Because like I'm thinking like remember like the Turtles, the comics in the 80s were like super dark.
I'm going to be honest with you. The same thing generally applies when I'm at the comic book store. I'm either buying Batman, Superman, or Suicide Squad. I generally lean towards the first two.
No, that's
you know
true.
What I mean? Like
yeah,
I'm not. I like the concept of the Suicide Squad, and I'm not like against it. And I'm sure they have really good stories. I'm just not as into them as I am the others.
Okay, thank you. So chat says they're light and comedic. Yeah. Okay.
I like it. They're a joke.
They're a joke.
That's the point of them. They're a joke.
I mean, but you can't take.
They're a joke. Hey, if that's what you are, that's.
Maybe it was just cheaper for this IP.
See, I'm with Beast. I'll play it eventually, but I'm not standing in line day one for this.
Yeah.
You know? And like I said, I'm a little fatigued from Arkham Knight. I had fun with it because I was playing with friends, and that's pretty much it.
This does not feel like an Arkham Knight game, though.
No, I know, but Arkham Knights was the 4-player co-op superheroes. You're doing different things.
Yeah,
You're playing a different character,
okay.
stuff like that, and then like I said, the Suicide Squad is cool, but I'm not as into them as I am others. Like when I was watching the first hour of this gameplay, the best part was when Green Lantern and Flash came in. I'm like, oh man, yeah, and then they started doing, and the story seemed interesting at that point. But yeah, I don't know.
Real quick,
I'll eventually
before
play.
we get out of here, Mike says, I've been having a tough time getting into any new games. Any recommendations for a good game out there to bust out of my funk? We've all been in that funk. You're burnt out. You're overloaded. Nothing sounds good.
He needs a reset game.
You need a reset game, a palate cleanser. So I would play something that you normally don't play. If you play a lot of multiplayer games, I'd go single player. If you play a lot of open world games, I'd go linear. If you have never played a racing game, I would jump in and do Forza. Just to cleanse your palate a little bit. And also, don't be afraid to
just take a break.
There's nothing wrong with you for taking a break.
Just watch a lot of YouTube. That's what I do.
Watching others play games actually is a good palate cleanser as well.
Yeah, go over the Game Pass list. But here's the problem: when you have so many options, it's hard to just.
Yeah,
it's like overwhelming.
Paralysis of options.
It's hard to say what you. I mean, I want to know what you play.
Yeah,
but usually it's because you're stressed out, you're burnt out, and let's be honest. Most games have a work-like aspect to them in 2024, a job-like aspect.
Yeah.
I would avoid those games.
I would see, again, I don't know what types of games you're into, but a nice palate cleanser for me was Sea of Stars, because it was an old style retro game, but it was very good at what it did. What it did.
Very good at what it did.
It was an old style retro game that captured that old arcade or like that old gamer feel. But it had mechanics that layered on top of each other, but they weren't overwhelming. It was a decent story. It was, I don't know, it's just, for me it was just like a nice
Can I tell you what's hard
break from everything?
For me with gaming is if you have a mentally intensive job, watching TV versus playing a video game is much less mentally exhausting as well. Like when you play a video game, you have to think. You have to
pay attention.
You have to be engaged versus letting someone else engage for you via a television show. So it may just be that you just gotta wait till you're, maybe you're not as busy with work or with life or.
See, there you go, Dr.
Like that.
Dr. Teeth had the same issue. Been playing a lot of retro games.
Yeah,
you know what I'm telling you, when you play those games, you're like, you feel like a gamer. You know?
Well, I have this desire to play some linear games now, just because I'm a little open world out. Once again, I get to that point every once in a while.
Yeah. What are you going to play?
I was thinking about going back and doing Wolfenstein. You want to know what's hard with here's what's hard.
It's a shooter.
Here's what's hard. I want to play some linear games that I can't play in front of my kids.
Cyberpunk.
And my
You're
Xbox,
speaking to the choir, man.
and my Xbox is on my TV where my kids are. And so,
yeah, I know what you mean.
Like, I want to play The Evil Within. I want to play Alan Wake 2. That's one on my list. I want to play Wolfenstein, go back and do Wolfenstein 2. I never beat Wolfenstein 2, but I'd love to go back and do the story and experience that.
Remember we tried to play New Order?
Yeah, New Order sucked.
Yeah.
Because they changed the formula.
Yeah.
I want to be Wolfenstein.
And it was like,
not his 2 teenage daughters.
It had a different vibe to it, didn't it? Like,
especially
and it was
when
just,
you come from,
even
when you come from number 2, when the opening sequence is like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. Well, and even when we were like playing together, it was just kind of like we were both had this moment where we were like, what are we doing?
What are we
like, no, it was like not very many things do that. It was just like, what are we doing?
Yeah, it was like this come to Jesus moment. Like, what are we doing with our lives?
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a bad game or anything. We just had that moment. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
and we moved on.
Beast right there. Mario Wonder has been a nice palette cleanser.
Yeah.
Just easy to get into and fast. No long CGI intro. No long tutorials. That's exactly it. I think, yeah, just get in and play. That's why I like racing games. I just get in and play and get out. Like, I have 15 minutes to unwind, relax, get in, get out. 30 minutes. The tediousness of like having to remember what I do next or what was I doing here. A lot of games are like that now, and I think it wears on you, man. It wears on you.
Wears on you hard.
Wears on you hardcore. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hanging out.
Yeah, interesting week this week. Interesting discussion. And I guess we'll officially know what's going on next week. And we'll probably come back and talk about all the things we were wrong about.
Yep.
Hey, by the way, the post show, we're going to be talking about Genesis and Nintendo and stuff like that.
By the way, if any of you listening to this agree with Techie87, make sure you come and become a member. Let us know by becoming a member over at youtube.com/X1Bros. Just show me up. Show me what it is. We'll see you later, guys. Have a good one. See everybody. All our members. See you guys in the members lounge. Don't go anywhere.